Hello, welcome to Sunday Scaries. It's that time again for me to fix my camera. Welcome in, welcome in. For those in ad break hell, you have 30 seconds left. For those who are not in ad break hell, welcome in. Glad you're here. Tonight's going to be a good night. Okay, Faith was really good. And I feel like I did Faith a huge injustice by my playthrough. I didn't explore hardly anything. So, yeah, I need to go back and watch. Okay, so we're going to watch two videos. I mean, my playthrough was a playthrough, and it was good, but I feel like there's so much more to it than what I accomplished. It's a really in-depth game, which is awesome. Okay, our two real videos today, no more trolling, is going to be a video from Nick Crowley. He's great for a lot of content, but his coverage of the Dyatlov Pass is pretty awesome. It's a 30-minute video, but it's super spooky. It's a great mystery. I think it'd be worthwhile watching. And after that, we're gonna go into the Greylock tapes. I know nothing about the Greylock tapes except for Wendigoon says it's one of the best and scariest analog horror on YouTube. I did put on some content warning because apparently there's some graphic violent, and I think in this video too. So we're gonna watch this, and then we'll watch the Greylock tapes. That's a lengthy, so we're in for a good time here. Also, I've got some typed commands, so if you want to do stuff like this,
it's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents?
you could have done that earlier.
Call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
So there's some new commands I have there. So it's exclamation point hidden, stop, sick, triggered, and dead. Just some fun stuff. But let's go ahead without further ado. Yeah, that would be a 1 if I'm playing. Once I start playing, that new game, Wukong, I'll be deserving that one. Here we go.
In the winter months of 1959, a group of 9 young, experienced hikers began their journey into the Ural Mountains of Russia. This wasn't the first cold weather trip
He's got
these hikers had
the
taken,
best voice
but
for
tragically,
this type of
it
content.
would be their last. During the trip, the hikers encountered something in the supposedly desolate region that led to the deaths of the entire group.
Are y'all familiar with the story?
What exactly happened that night is still unknown, but the incident has since become one of the world's greatest mysteries, with the details and evidence being some of the most shocking that I've ever investigated.
Are we familiar with this story? It's pretty great. WTE?
So to preface how we know so much about this story, cameras and diaries belonging to the group were actually found at the campsite that show the actions and the thoughts of each of the 10 hikers.
Fair enough.
And
It's
because
come
of
up.
the cameras
It's
found
come
at
up.
the campsite, many of the photographs used within this video are going to be actual shots taken by the Dyatlov group. The
Fair
story
enough.
of the Dyatlov Pass incident began at the Ural Polytechnical Institute, where a group of current and former students formed a crew to trek across the Ural Mountains. Now, the ski trip was not what you would expect from a group of college students. Each of the members of the 10-man group were certified grade 2 hikers, and the completion of the trip would make them grade 3, which at the time was the most prestigious hiking certificate
They're no
in the
slouches.
Soviet Union. Because of this, the trip was quite serious, with booze and cigarettes being left behind in order to avoid distraction. The goal was for the hikers to reach the mountain of Gora Orton, and the track that the hikers would be taking was rated at the highest possible difficulty. Still though, the group remained confident that they would be able to complete the journey.
They weren't any
as they were
slouches.
properly prepared
Yep.
and properly trained.
That's the
Their
craziest
journey
thing about
started
this
on the
story.
25th of January as the group began traveling towards the village of Vizhai. Once there, the hikers rested for the night and began their hike on the 27th. But for one of the hikers, bad luck would strike early. Just one day into the hike, the then 21-year-old Yuri Yudin began to suffer from severe joint pain. Yudin had been plagued by many health problems over the course of his life, and the limitations it placed on him were obviously quite frustrating. But in this case, his untimely health problems may have actually saved his life. With the pain in his joints becoming too much to bear, Yudin decided that he would only slow the hikers down if he stayed. So he said goodbye to his team, and he headed home, completely unaware of the tragedy that was soon to unfold. The departure of Yudin left the group with 9 people, 7 men and 2 women. The leader of the group, Igor Dyatlov, was said to be extremely knowledgeable and experienced.
Igor.
And by all accounts, was a very well-respected leader.
It's a young Frankenstein
As
reference
the
for
group
you.
traversed through what has now become the Dyatlov Pass, severe weather had
How's our
caused them
audio,
to
by the
lose
way?
their
Too
bearings
loud, too
and
soft?
eventually end up on the side of the mountain Kolatsaikal, or as it was better known by the local Mansi tribe, Dead Mountain. It was late at
dated
this
an
point,
Igor?
and the weather was
Nice.
anything but stable. So Dyatlov made the questionable decision to pitch the tent
Hey,
and hunker
strong
down
name.
until sunrise. It's believed that none of the hikers would make it that far. In the midst of their trip, Igor Dyatlov had told Yuri Yudin as he was leaving that the group would
Yuri
send a
Yudin.
telegram once they had returned back from their journey.
Has a great sound
Dyatlov
to
believed
it.
the trip would likely take 16 days, but a few extra days were possible due to the unpredictable weather of the region. Yudin had waited for the telegram for weeks, but it never came.
What do you think, y'all? Would
This
y'all go
caused
on
him to
a
report the
trek
group
like
as
this?
missing, and by the end of
Even if it
February,
included
a search party was underway.
a group
On
of
the
very
26th of
experienced
February,
hikers?
A search party was able to locate the tent in which the hikers had spent their final night in. Upon further investigation, it was discovered that the tent was cut open
Never.
from the inside by one of the hikers. With these hikers being like this,
Hold on.
would be taken.
Ah. I messed it up, y'all. Chat. Okay. Well, I meant to ask before I messed it all up. Spacebar. I need to click spacebar. Yeah. Well done. So here's the question. If you were posed with this and you had to choose going up and exploring space, like going to the International Space Station, going to the moon, or going to the bottom of the ocean to one of those like underwater labs, what would you choose? I don't know. I think I feel like the anxiety of travel to either place would probably kill me before anything catastrophic happened. But I, very reluctantly, I think I'd have to say deep sea, because at least I'm still on Earth, and the worst thing would be just the saturation, decompression stuff. And hey, if something goes wrong, it happens before my brain even realizes it happened. So I feel like in space, surely there's some sort of, I don't know. It's horrible to think about, but somebody asked me, I was like, I hate both of those.
Underway. On the 20th.
Same thing with spelunking. People who like cave dive and like crawl through and explore caves. Stop that.
6th of February, a search party
Make
was
it
able
illegal.
to locate the tent in which the hikers had spent their final night in.
Dave,
Upon further
Dredge?
investigation, it was
You mean
discovered
Cthulhu
the tent
Finder?
was cut open from the inside by one of the hikers. With these hikers being as
Space, so I can see
experienced
space.
as they were, they would
should
not
play
have
the-
done this unless they
you should
were
play the game
extremely
to the moon.
spooked by something. And the condition of the tent shows that the group likely cut the tent open from the inside in order to flee from something. And think about how crazy this is. Something had to scare them so badly and make them want to flee so quickly that they sliced open their only bit of shelter.
That's
Not only
crazy.
this, but the hikers had fled their tents so
Yeah, To the
quickly
Moon is a
that
good
most
game.
were
You
not
should try
wearing
if you like
shoes,
space.
and none were properly dressed for the negative 30-degree temperature,
-30?
with some venturing out of the tent in only their underwear. Perhaps even more shockingly, the footsteps of all 9 of the hikers were discovered heading away from the campsite, which revealed something strange. Rather than the footprints being sporadic,
It's
as
so
one
good.
would expect if they were running away from something, they were
It's one of my
instead
favorite, like,
extremely organized.
story
One by
games.
one, the hikers walked single file down the hill in their bare feet and socks with hardly any clothes on, as they slowly began to freeze to death. Between the cut-open tent and the single file walking, it's already very clear that something very unusual had happened that night, but things only got stranger as the bodies began to be discovered. Each and every one of the deaths on the Dyatlov Pass seems suspicious. Investigators set out on the morning of February the 27th with high confidence that the members of the group would be found alive. The tent was located and the footprints were located. Now all that's left to do was find these extremely experienced hikers. While combing the area around a patch of trees, a member of the search party noticed that there was something brown sticking out of the snow near an old cedar tree. As they approached,
Just the details
they
of the
noticed
story
that
are
all of the
so
branches
fucked.
on the lower part of the tree had been broken off, which might have suggested that somebody had possibly tried to climb it.
You should
Remains
definitely
of an old
do
fire
a
were
To the
found
Moon
under
stream.
the tree as well.
Definitely
And next to
recommend
this
that.
fire was where the first bodies
It's
were
about
found.
a 4.5 hour game, so
Yuri
you might even be
Doroshenko
able to do
was
it
the
in one
first
sitting.
hiker found. He was lying face down in the snow, wearing a short-sleeved t-shirt and swimming trunks. He was wearing 2 socks with no shoes. Doroshenko had a large burn on the right side of his head and on his foot. Along with this, he also had gray fluid coming out of his mouth. His body was covered in scrapes and bruises, and his ears, nose, and lips were covered in blood. It is speculated
Yikes.
that these injuries were self-inflicted and done out of agony, as Doroshenko was quite literally being frozen to death. The gray fluid found coming out of Doroshenko's mouth is typically a sign that the body had experienced a strong force to their chest cavity. This perhaps suggests that Doroshenko had possibly fallen from the cedar tree, or that somebody else had pressed on his chest with extreme force. Despite these strange findings, Doroshenko's official cause of death was labeled as hypothermia, and the detail of the gray fluid
I'll
found in his
to
mouth
add that
never
to my
made
list.
the initial report.
Once we get through these main ones I posted,
23-year-old Yuri
I'm going to go through all the ones that you
Krivonischenko
linked
was found
here
lying
on,
next to Doroshenko under the cedar tree.
here on
He was
Sunday
found
Scaries.
wearing a long-sleeved shirt
We'll go through all
and
of
a
them.
single sock. His body was heavily bruised with multiple cuts as well. Burns were found on his foot and up his legs, as well as on both of his hands. Inside of his mouth, a chunk of his own knuckle was found, which may have been done while Krivonischenko was biting his knuckle in order.
This is so weird. The types of injuries that these hikers had is just like, what happened? What did they see? It's like, did they see something that made them flee?
To either stay conscious or to stop himself from crying. Later investigation revealed that both of the first 2 bodies were moved after death. What may have happened in this situation
Why am
was
I
that
typing?
other
Why am I
members
typing
of the
that?
group
We
found
might
the 2
just
dead
do a
and put their bodies in
watch
an orderly
Crowley's
manner
video on
out
it.
of respect. Other members of the group may have took the men's clothing to divide up amongst themselves in a desperate attempt to stay warm. The next body to be found was that of Igor Dyatlov, the leader of the group. Dyatlov was found face up with both of his fists clenched, and his body had also been clearly manipulated after his death. Dyatlov had abrasions and bruises on both of his ankles, as well as cuts and bruises on his face. He was missing an incisor in his jaw, and the coroner reported that these injuries were consistent with that of those caused by a fistfight. His official death was hypothermia. Zinaida Kolomogorova was the first of the women to be found. She was found better dressed than the others, but one of the sweaters she was wearing had part of its right sleeve torn off. She had abrasions on both of her hands.
It's almost like they all experienced some sort of mass
at the side of her body,
paranoia
which apparently
that caused them to like
consistency
fight each
to
other
a
or
hit
something.
From a baton. These injuries show a potential sign of struggle, and her official cause of death was labeled as hypothermia due to a violent accident. Both Kolomogorova and Dyatlov were likely trying to make their way back to the tent when they both perished. It wouldn't be for another week that the next body was found. 23-year-old Rustem Slobodan was found on March 5th, lying face down and covered
Dude's
in
a
snow.
unit.
He had internal bleeding in both of his temples and a large fracture on his skull. Whatever caused the fracture and hemorrhaging is unclear, but medical experts concluded that Slobodan likely survived the injury for up to an hour after it had happened.
Yikes.
It is theorized that Slobodan became extremely disoriented and dizzy after suffering these injuries and collapsed on the ground. Still conscious and awake, Slobodan quickly died of hypothermia. His body too showed signs that it had been moved post-mortem.
So who's moving these
Months
bodies
would
too?
go by until a member of the Mansi tribe discovered a den created by the surviving hikers. This den was a last-ditch effort for the remaining 4 to survive the frigid cold, but ultimately, it was unsuccessful. Ludmila Dubinina was found with her body draped over a natural ledge, with running water flowing directly next to her body. The tissue around her lips and her mouth were missing, exposing her teeth and her upper jaw. Soft tissue was also missing in other parts.
I know there's one theory, and then again, it has been solved, is that there was a lot of testing the Russian government was doing with, like, I don't know if it was like missiles or something, and they were like close to it. There's like a cover up.
Parts of her face, revealing her cheekbone in one area. 10 of her ribs were broken, and massive hemorrhaging had occurred in her heart. Both of her eye sockets were empty, meaning that both of her eyes had been removed. This wasn't the only feature on her head that was missing, however. Dubinina's tongue
Also,
had been removed.
abominable snowman.
And it was nowhere to
Yeti.
be found. Blood found within the stomach suggests that she was alive when this occurred. Her cause of death was hemorrhaging into the right atrium of the heart,
Wow, that's
making
crazy.
her one of the only deaths to officially be ruled as something other than hypothermia. Semyon Zolotorov, the oldest member of the group, was found slightly more prepared for the elements than the others. He had 3 pairs of pants on, and he wore a long jacket.
This is
over
like
his sweater,
minus 30
with 2
degrees,
hats,
right?
A scarf, and boots. Despite him having at least some preparation for
crazy.
the cold, he too perished along with the others. Much like Dubinina, Zolotoryov had
that's
mysteriously
insanely
suffered
cold.
injuries to his chest, resulting in 5 broken ribs and a flailed chest. He was missing tissue along his right eyebrow, which revealed his exposed skull bone. He also had a deep gash in the back of his head, which too revealed blood. Zolotoryov was also found without eyes. His cause of death was quickly ruled hypothermia, despite the strange, unexplained injuries that he
I can
had
understand
suffered.
some of the
Both
injuries
Zolotoryov and
being
Dubinina
animal related,
had
like the
suffered their
eyes and
chest
stuff.
injuries whilst they were still alive. Medical
feel like there would
experts
be
concluded
abrasions
that their
on there,
injuries
too.
were caused by a large force and could not have been caused by another human. Their internal injuries were similar to something you would see from a car accident. But despite this, neither had any bruising or marks where the force would have hit. This point alone continues to baffle researchers and remains unexplained how it could even be possible.
Like if it was a large animal, like a bear,
Alexander Kulatov was
there would have
found
been
near the
clear
den,
signs of that.
along with the others. Though not ideal, his clothing was better than the majority of his companions. However, there were rips and tears found on his jacket and on his pants. Along with these rips, burn marks were found on his jacket and socks. Kolevatov was missing both
Some
of his
people also
eyebrows,
said that the
and
guy who
bone
was
could be
sick
seen
may
where
have
they
had
once
something
were.
to do with it
His
too. The
nose
guy
was
who-
broken and his neck
the
was
guy who had
deformed,
joint pain.
meaning that it was likely snapped. A gash was also found behind his right ear. Despite the clear and obvious signs of a major struggle, the autopsy was left vague and concluded that he too had died from hypothermia. The vagueness of the autopsy was fairly consistent with the remaining victims found in May of that year. Little explanation was given to any of their injuries, and the autopsies were found to be very misleading. Nikolai Brignoli was similar to Zolotoryov
Brignoli.
in the fact that both were somewhat
Strong last
prepared
name.
for the outdoor elements. It has long since been believed that Brignoli and Zolotoryov were outside of the tent at the time that the others fled, which would explain why they were already prepared for the cold. Brignoli was found with bruising on his lips and on the lower left side of his face. he had bled internally on his lower right forearm. Along with this, his skull was fractured and cracked all over the left side of his head. These fractures would have had to have been caused by an extremely powerful force, but no damage was done to the soft tissue on the top of the fracture, meaning that again, another human could not have inflicted these injuries. Upon suffering this injury, Brignoli
Unless
would
it was
likely
the
have been in
Yeti.
an unconscious state and would have died no more than 3 hours later. His death too was officially blamed by a powerful force that could not have been caused by a human. Each and
It's
every one of the
Abominable
deaths
Snowman.
on the Dyatlov Pass seemed suspicious. All of the hikers had bruising and cuts on their bodies, specifically on their faces, and most had other shocking and disturbing injuries
let your
that were
kids
left
watch it.
unexplained. But one of the more shocking things revealed in this case has yet to be discussed in this video. It is believed that the last 4 hikers had taken clothes from some of the corpses once they had passed away in a desperate attempt to survive the freezing cold. So when the final 4 bodies were found, they were all wearing clothes from the victims who died before them. It was discovered that on these clothes, trace amounts of radiation were detected. And adding to that, radiation was also detected in the entire area of the Dyatlov Pass at the time. It is believed that there is no natural way
Russian
that this
testing,
radiation could
maybe?
have been found on their bodies, but an explanation as to how it got there has never been offered. Looking at these deaths as a whole, no part of the situation seems to make any sense. From the ripping open of the tent, to the single file walk down the mountain, to the horrific injuries, and finally the radiation. Everything just seems out of whack, which is why this case has become one of the most mysterious of all time. And due to its popularity and widespread appeal, thousands of theories have been put forth as to what may have caused all of this. Here are some of the more popular ones.
Here we go. Theories. We all love a good theory.
One of the earliest theories to come out of this event was the idea that the local Mansi tribe had killed the hikers. As I mentioned earlier, a storm had caused the hikers to wander off course and
Maybe.
end up on what is now known as Death Mountain. The mountain was home to the Mansi people, and it was theorized that they attacked the hikers when they ventured onto their land.
That would
One piece of
explain
evidence to support
why.
this was the fact that a Mansi chum was found just a few hundred meters away from the
By the
campsite.
varying
Supposedly, a chum
locations
was a
and the
symbolic
state of-
structure that was created at the time of a sacrifice. Could the Mansi people have sacrificed the hikers or killed them for stepping onto their land? It could be somewhat possible. And taking a look at the pictures that the Dyatlov group had taken prior to their death, it is clear that they were stepping on the land of the secluded tribe. The tribe isn't always welcoming to visitors, so perhaps this led to a conflict. What could also support this theory was the fact that the Mansi people knew this land better than anyone else in the world. Perhaps they could have covered up their tracks and staged the murders in such a strange
That's why
way that
they said
knew
the
it would
bodies
never
were
be
moved
solved.
post-mortem.
Now this theory is so intriguing to me because it would answer why the hikers fled their tents so quickly. Perhaps they realized they were about to be attacked and they tried to escape from the tribe. Also, it would explain why they walked single file down the hill, because maybe they were being led there and told to do so. Ultimately, the theory for the Mansi people having killed the hikers sounds somewhat believable. But at the end of the day,
But
if
maybe
you
too
really dig
believable.
into it doesn't make enough sense. How would this explain the
It's too
injuries suffered
convenient.
by the hikers? The coroner clearly said that a few of these injuries could not have been caused by a human, so that alone makes this theory very unlikely. Plus, the idea of them covering up every single one of their footprints seems far-fetched. Finally, the chum that
Hey,
was
it's
found
your
in the
child.
area
Welcome
of the
in.
hikers' disappearances
We're doing
was
a little
likely
Sunday
for the
Scaries,
sacrifice
watching the
of a
Dyatlov
moose,
Pass
which they would have
incident.
then used for food. This seems to
Weekend
be
has been
confirmed
good.
by
The
moose
mowing is
antlers
over
on
for
top of
now.
the structure, and it's now been practically debunked that the Mansi people ever even performed human sacrifices. As time has gone on, it has become somewhat clear that the Mansi people were used as an early cop-out as to what happened to these people.
It's honestly,
But
it's
years
such a
later,
creepy
the
story,
theory
'cause,
has
like,
since been debunked,
these
leading us to
hikers
look for answers elsewhere.
disappeared.
Our second
Then their
theory
bodies
is an
were found in
explanation
various
as to
states
why
of,
the
like,
hikers fled their
condition
tent so
and-
quickly. For them to practically destroy their main
no one
piece
knows.
of shelter, they had
No
to
one
have
knows
been
what
certain
caused
that
it.
their lives were in
Big
danger,
spoopy.
and they had to think that this danger was approaching so quickly that they had to leave without proper provisions. Because of this, and the location of the tent, many now believe that an avalanche had caused the hikers to flee that day. Though this specific area is not known for having frequent avalanches, they were camped at the base of a mountain, meaning that they could have been in a direct path of an incoming avalanche. This theory would explain why the hikers cut their tent open in such a hurry and left the safety of their shelter with only light clothing on. And for obvious reasons, this has been the widespread
Child,
theory that
this is
many
the
have settled on.
link to it.
However, it's not without issues.
Hold on.
For starters, this theory doesn't explain how the hikers suffered such serious injuries. Remember, those who had suffered broken bones showed no signs of tissue damage near their injuries. This is significant because if an avalanche had caused a rock to strike them or caused them to crash into a tree or something like that, there would have been significant damage to their tissue around their broken bones.
Nick Crowley on YouTube does a cover up, is the video we're watching.
And they would have been completely covered with cuts and scrapes from head to toe. Also, there was never any sign that an avalanche had taken place in that area that night. And though this is impossible to totally prove, scientists had agreed that it is unlikely that this ever took place. Now,
I think it's the Yeti. I think it's the abominable snowman.
An avalanche still could be partially to blame. Perhaps the hikers had just thought that an avalanche was coming. Maybe they heard a loud noise or something like that, and they panicked and cut open the tent.
But then again, I guess we would have seen the tracks.
When they realized their mistake, they walked single file into the woods in order to get shelter in the trees. I think this situation sounds very rational, but it still doesn't explain what actually killed the hikers. If they really thought there was an avalanche,
experienced
and
hikers.
that's what caused them to flee, then something outside of their shelter must have killed them. But what could have possibly caused such horrific injuries? With little to go off of in terms of rational theories, many have began looking to the supernatural as a cause for this tragedy.
There you go,
The
Princess
main
Monster.
talking point is typically the Yeti. Perhaps a large and violent creature was living in the remote area of the Dyatlov Pass.
There we
and
go.
It took issue with the hikers being in its territory. This would explain why the hikers fled, and could also explain their unusual injuries. Now, this is a theory that I've never
hovering
been very
like they're
fond of, as the whole thing just kind of seems baseless. But doing a little more
For some reason, I got this image of Dawson from Street Fighter just hovering towards them.
As previously mentioned, multiple cameras were found at the campsite that belonged to the hikers. This photograph was taken at some point before the hikers had perished, but was generally taken in the area that they set up camp. After analysis, this photo has been completely proven to be 100% real, and the image has not been
Mothman taught him how to fight. Yes, listen.
What is seen on this
sure looks like a
photograph
Yeti.
is widely open to interpretation. Personally, just looking at it
his
without
stance
context,
is like,
this really does look like some kind of Yeti Bigfoot.
I mean, okay, that pose right there is the pose you make when you're like, oh, is this a bad time? Hold on, I'm gonna do something real quick. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Does that look better? I changed some settings on the screen. Is that easier to see, or do we like this better? Brighter? I think it like blows out some of the details. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Creature, but others swear that it just looks like a man in snow gear. This image
a
is
man in snow gear
adds to the intrigue of this mystery.
Too bad they didn't have that.
Despite this looking somewhat like a Yeti,
DSLR
this
camera
still falls flat in many ways. The glaring issue here is that there were no footprints. Yetis are literally cold-weather Bigfoots, and not a single footprint of that thing was found. And it also doesn't totally explain the radiation found on the hiker's clothing.
An irradiated flying
Yetis, perhaps they give off some sort of radiation. But because of the lack of tracks and no real evidence other than the photograph, this remains just another theory at this point.
A game
popular
theory.
Supernatural theory for this case has been the idea that aliens were to blame for the deaths of the 9 hikers. For starters, bright lights in the sky were seen overhead of the Dyatlov Pass on the night of the incident. Local Mansi hunters claimed that the lights looked like glowing spheres and matched the descriptions of the modern-day UFO. On the body of Semyon Zolotorov, A camera was found with extensive water damage. Despite the obvious damage from sitting in the freezing cold for 3 months, the film within it was eventually developed, which showcased something strange. Through all of the water damage, the photographs seemed to show that Zolotaryov was photographing some sort of light form in the sky, though this could very well be just because of the damage done to the camera. Believers of the UFO theory link this to being
An incoming missile
that Zolotaryov
that was about to
was
hit them.
photographing UFOs moments before the hikers fled their tent, and maybe this unidentified light form began coming after the hikers and causing them to flee.
It's like the movie Fire in the
It is unclear
Sky.
what would have happened from there, but a popular belief is that the UFO caused the hikers to go into a trance. This made them walk down the mountain in a single file line.
I mean,
This would explain the radiation and the fleeing from the tent as well, and it could potentially explain the injuries found on the hikers. I mean, who knows what kind of weaponry or force that these aliens had, and if you believe this theory so far, you might not have a hard time believing that the aliens then attacked some of the hikers and killed them with their strange weaponry. Personally, this remains one of the most interesting theories to me, but due to just how outlandish it kind of is, I
Nick
can't
Crowley,
totally
you believing in
commit to it.
aliens?
But with all that being said, it is hard to completely dismiss it. With just how unusual the events at the Dyatlov Pass were, many have blamed a strange psychological occurrence on the deaths of the hikers. For starters, many have pinned this entire situation on paradoxical undressing. This is a phenomenon when a person is suffering from hypothermia. Yet
This
they
is
feel
wild
as if
to me.
they are overheating. This burning feeling causes the person to remove all of their clothing in an attempt to cool down. And this obviously ends up killing the person even quicker. This was initially used as the likely cause of the hiker's death, as it explained why so many were improperly prepared for the cold. Also, the extreme effects of hypothermia could have also
Is
caused
so
the hikers
crazy.
to hallucinate or hear things, and thus flee from a non-existent threat. And at the surface, this could appear to be the case, but digging deeper, I have to discredit
By the way, if you're looking
this
to avoid
theory.
the
For
ads on
starters,
this
the
stream,
last
don't forget
remaining
to use
4
your
hikers
Prime
took the clothes
subscribe.
from those who
Avoid having to pay
perished in order
anything.
to stay warm. Also, a fire was found by the first 2 hikers who had passed away. All along the Dyatlov Pass were signs and evidence that these hikers were actively looking for warmth and trying to stay alive. Plus, this theory does nothing to explain the injuries that the hikers had
Yeah, all the
faced.
injuries,
And
the
for these reasons,
various
this
injuries
likely isn't what
is-
killed the 9 hikers. Another
is crazy.
psychological theory has been that the area around the Dyatlov Pass produces low-frequency wind, which creates what is known as a Kármán vortex street. This ultra-low frequency is said to cause panic attacks to many of those who experience it. So maybe the hikers heard this and fled their tent due to this paranoia. And by the time they made it down the mountain, they realized their mistake, but it was too late. Now obviously again, this doesn't explain how the hikers suffered such grotesque injuries, and it really just falls flat as well. But I also tend to have a hard time believing these psychological theories, simply because of the number of people present at the time of this tragedy. For all 9 hikers to have experienced the same psychological phenomenon, and for all of them to react in the same way, seems incredibly unlikely.
Yeah,
No 2 minds
mean-
are alike, so the idea that all
the whole study about how frequencies and sound affect us differently is so interesting to me. Like, listening to music at a certain frequency can help you meditate or like achieve a certain level of like calm, than versus, you know, the same piece of music at a different frequency. It's very, very cool.
all 9 of them would collectively act in a way that would surely get them killed doesn't make any sense. I mean, not one of them realized that fleeing the tent was a crazy thing to do, or maybe this was all part of it. Maybe the group had a disagreement, which caused a fight. Maybe some members of the group began to slowly lose their minds, while the others remained
It's
sane.
likely.
And these clashing mindsets may have led to a physical confrontation that would have caused the minor physical injuries. Things may have boiled over as the tent was ripped and the group fought outside in the cold. Realizing the mistake that they had all made, the group may have then calmed down as they realized that they would surely die if they continued fighting in the cold. This caused them to head for the shelter of the trees below. It's not a perfect theory, and again doesn't explain the horrific injuries, but then again the perfect theory doesn't seem to exist in a case like this. One of the theories that I personally like the best
music
is that
therapy.
the Soviets covered up the
very
real
cool.
events of what happened. The Dyatlov Pass incident was initially buried by the Soviet government
Always
for
trying to
nearly
hide
3
stuff.
years after it had happened. And once it was finally revealed to the public, inconsistencies in its reporting and in its autopsies were heavily prevalent. Now, many of what we actually know about this case is from the early Soviet reports, meaning that they could have misconstrued the information of the case in such a way that they knew no one would ever discover the truth.
I know.
But if this is true, then what could they have been hiding?
That's why this specific
Piggybacking off of
story
the
is
previous theories, the government would have had reasoning to cover up a Yeti attack or an alien attack for obvious reasons. And potentially the military had come in after the group had encountered these things. One member of the search party even claimed that a pair of military boot footprints were found within the 9 hikers' single-file trail. This could indicate that the hikers were ordered down the mountain by a member of the military, and from there the group was taken care of. But the cover-up could have also been from a more probable theory. This event took place during the Cold War, and Russia was very obviously trying to develop new and powerful weapons. And for these weapons, they would typically test them in remote and desolate regions.
I think that this is the one that's
the Dyatlov
a little bit more likely.
So maybe Russia was testing rockets or bombs in the area, and when they went off, it terrified the hikers and caused them to run away from their shelter. And maybe these weapons had actually struck some of the hikers, causing their strange and terrifying injuries. It was even confirmed that rockets were shot at the direction of the Dyatlov Pass from a military group somewhat near the area, but officials denied that the rockets would have landed anywhere close to the group. Whatever the case may be,
of course they're going to deny that.
The idea that the Soviets had some involvement in at least covering up the incident seems entirely possible, but the question still remains, why? Despite the countless theories offered for this event, none seem to really solve everything, and it is possible that due to the improper reporting from the Soviets, that the answers to this case will never fully be known. Hopefully someday new evidence will be released that blows the whole case wide open. But
because I'm sure there's families out there that
Dyatlov Pass incident
their families need some closure,
one of the greatest mysteries the world has ever seen.
Yeah, super wild.
Honored something in the supposed.
All right, so that was the Dyatlov Pass. Super spoopy. Very spoopy. Okay, let me get the next video going. So what did y'all think about that one? Any theories? What did y'all think? Ooh. Is this a video? Has this okay, it's been solved. I'm gonna pull this up. Alright, let's look at this together. Hold on. Let's see, can I pull this on? Okay, here we go. Thank you, Princess Monster, for sharing this link. True story of the Dyatlov Pass mystery and the Chilean potential explanation. For over half a century, investigators and amateur sleuths have puzzled over the bizarre deaths of the 9 Soviet hikers in 1959. But the solution may be tragically simple. In January 1959, 9 young skiers went on an adventurous hiking trip in Russia's Ural Mountains. The hikers, many of whom were students at the Soviet Union's Ural Polytechnic Institute, were found dead next month. Their mysterious deaths would soon be known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. Only photographs of their final days and a confounding scene at their campsite and bizarre autopsy results were left behind. The Dyatlov Pass incident has since become a plentiful source of conspiracy theories with a range from government secrecy to paranormal phenomena, and for good reason. Some photos. But then in 2019, Russian officials reopened the bizarre case. 2 years later, Swiss scientists took a deep look at one of the leading theories. But did these experts finally solve the enduring mystery of what happened to the hikers? Here's what we know. Okay, so we know a lot of these things. Let's go down to the theories. Tim Allen, go away. Let's see, in February 19th. Okay, here we go. In February 19th, the investigation to the Dyatlov Pass was reopened. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Relatives, the media, and the public still ask prosecutors to determine the truth and don't hide their suspicions that something was hidden from them, said Alexander Kurinoy, the official representative of the Russian prosecutor general, according to CNN. Over the years, more than 75 theories, have been put forward, ranging from alien abduction and an abominable snowman attack to radiation fallout from secret weapons tests and a conflict with the indigenous Mansi people. The 2019 investigation, however, took just 3 theories into account. One's exclusively limited to weather-related occurrences. Let's see. Quick second. What was that alert? All right. All of them somehow connected with national phenomena, said the Kurenoi at the time. Crime is out of the question. There's not a single proof, even an indirect one, to favor this criminal version. It was either an avalanche, a snow slab, or hurricane. Well, none of those are good at all. I mean, satisfying at least. Let's keep reading. A spokesperson for the prosecutor's office for Russia's. By the way, we have an ad break coming up in about 5 minutes. After that ad break, which lasts about 3 minutes, we'll start the Greylock tapes. So just give you all a heads up. Use those Prime subs. Let's see. So, Region presented a 400-page file of original case documents and materials at the press conference, alongside an announcement that 1 month later, prosecutors were to visit the Dyatlov Pass site itself with a crew of rescue workers and experts, including forensic professionals. Why did it take this long? Peter Bartolome, I butchered the pronunciation of that, a friend of Dyatlov's who attended the press conference, described his friend as a wonderfully knowledgeable person, an athlete, and always prepared. One could always rely on him. I can say the same for the rest of the guys, although we did not go on as many expeditions with Igor. He said, I am glad that years after a high-level investigation is resumed, is resumed to understand what exactly happened. Ultimately, according to Live Science, the federal Russian investigation in 2019 and 2020 concluded that a slab avalanche, which involves a slab of snow breaking away from a deeper layer of snow and sliding downhill in large block-like chunks, most likely sent the 9 doomed hikers to their icy graves. Interesting. Yeah. And in 2021, a study that was published by 2 Swiss scientists in the journal Communications, Earth, and Environment offered a scientific explanation for this leading theory. The theory that had actually been suggested for years, but some people remain skeptical of this explanation. A snow avalanche hypothesis was proposed among other theories, but was found to be inconsistent with the evidence of lower than usual slope angle, scarcity of avalanche signs, uncertainties about the trigger mechanism, and abnormal injuries of the victims. Yes, that's the thing, is like all their injuries were wildly different from. They even had this one that had burns on him. That is an interesting theory. I'm going to dig into that for sure. But it's interesting. What do y'all think? Slab avalanche? I mean, I guess. See here, let's get our next one queued up. Oops, hold on. Don't want to start yet. Mothman Yeti. I still think Mothman Yeti. Cryptids are so fun to theorize about. Goatman, the Mothman, Chupacabra. It could have been a combination of things, maybe improbable ones. Yeah, I mean, it didn't have to be just one thing. It could have been an avalanche that led to this, that led to that. The testing of rockets started the avalanche. Yeah. Avalanche hypothermia, and then a final mauling by a flying Yeti. It was the spaghetti monster. It's the man bear pig. Is it man bear pig? Is that a South Park reference? See, I know things. What are some of y'all's favorite mysteries and unsolved spooky occurrences? Dyatlov Pass is pretty big. Last week we covered the Yuba County 5, which is what some have called the American Dyatlov Pass. 5 friends. The Jack family disappearance. Ooh. Pardon me. Ooh. I'm not laughing at the Jack family disappearance. It's just the sound that came out. The Kamar Daban incident. Okay, I'm gonna add these to my, because I am prone to forget. Let's see, the Jack. Well, actually, let me do this. On these scary video submissions, y'all add your favorite like YouTube coverage of it. Like if there's a video that covers it that y'all really like, add it to that list and we can go through it. There's another video at some point we'll watch, the Russian sleep experiment, one of my favorite creepypastas. From on YouTube. My wife and daughter were like, "What's a creepypasta?" Then I had to like access the old knowledge. Well, a creepypasta. Who was phone? What? I've never heard of that one. Hold on. Who was phone?
Welcome to
Hey!
home of mid.
I see Jade. Thank you so much for the raid.
Feel free to sit back, relax, chat. Pop
Welcome,
some popcorn.
Raiders.
Just know everybody is welcome,
Welcome to Sunday Scaries.
except for you, Jerry.
Jerry. Except for you, Jerry.
You know what you did.
You know what you did, Jerry. Burn in hell. Oh, voiceover Pete gets intense. He does not like Jerry. Welcome in, Raiders. I see Jade. Oh my gosh. We just watched the Dyatlov Pass instant video by Nick Crowley, talking about theories and what could have happened. And we're about to start what I believe Wendigoon says of a big cryptid and YouTuber. Is probably one of the scariest analog horrors on YouTube. I'm not sure. We'll be the judge of that here in chat. Here, there's some violent imagery, so I did label this as some viewer discretion advised. We also have an ad starting soon, but I just want to say, if you're coming in, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, no worries, Jay. I was about to say, if you got to do some post raid care, please do so. I will do my best to create a welcoming environment to everyone here. But yes, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. For all those who are with Jade, if you need to do some after stream care, that's fine. But we're about to start some creepy Sunday scary videos. So sit back, turn off the lights, get spooky. I've never watched this series, so this will be a first time reaction. All I know, it's classified as analog horror. So if you're seeing things like the Mandela Catalog, there's a movie that came out a little while ago, Skinamarink. That kind of gives you an idea of the vibe, very much like a VHS tape, found footage possibly. So this will be new territory. It's a series of videos. Some are short, some are a little bit longer. But I'm excited to give it a try, give it a shot. But if you're having a good time here, feel free to click that follow. We stream 3 times a week, sometimes more. Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Wednesdays and Thursdays are more gameplay centered. And then Sundays we do spooky videos. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get the video started. And let's check this out.
Call Primary systems online. Meeting sequence complete. Emergency shutdown protocols disengaged. System is offline for time code error 106. Contact technician for assistance. Welcome to Serial USA Enhanced Access Operations. Please enter your clearance credentials. Error. These credentials are not recognized. Clearance credential requirement overridden. Administrator privileges granted. Welcome back, unknown user ID. What would you like to do? Accessing archival storage form, GBF. Data extraction initiated. Data extraction, 10% complete. Data extraction, 4% complete.
I'm not creeped out. You're creeped out.
Data extraction, 80% complete. Data extraction complete. All data extracted to error, no.
Dear believers, when men pursue evil, it is
Alright, we're on the
evil
second
that
video
they
now.
find. Mark my words, there is no good that can come from the pursuit of darkness. Let me read to you, dear believer, the words of the late brilliant Charles Spurgeon, who discussed this at length in a sermon all the way back in 1864. He said, quote, our adversary,
So that first one was called Tape 1. This one's called Tape 2, The Mountain Greylock. To the Mountain
We are
Greylock.
taught by our Lord Jesus to pray. Do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. What we are taught to seek or done in prayer, we should equally pursue or avoid in action.
Oh, I thought that was a tree on fire.
Endeavor to avoid temptation, seeking to walk in the path of obedience, so that we may
Mothman.
never
It's
be
Mothman.
guilty of
Yes.
tempting the devil to tempt us. We are not to enter the thicket in search of the
What is
lion.
another...
We
why am I
may
blanking on other
take
cryptids? Mothman, Goatman, Chupacabra. I feel like I'm leaving out a big one. Jersey Devil. I don't like this so far. The audio is very off-putting. The pants cryptid? Oh, the walking pants. Yeah. Yeah, I actually know that one. Oop, that's blood on the snow. I feel like we're going to see a skinwalker. Oh, yes, skinwalkers. That's my least favorite. Skinwalkers. Okay. You know, sometimes when you're walking in the woods and you come across bleeding trees, you probably should just get back in your car and just go back home. Is he hallucinating this? No liking.
when we will come face to face with the devil himself, whether we intended to or not, dear believer. We are drawn to
on the
him by
nose.
our own hearts. In Matthew chapter 15, verse 19,
I swear, if a demon person pops out on the road right now, we're gonna have problems.
it says, for out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false witness, slander.
False witness. Slander.
There is a shadow nested deep, deep within our hearts.
Why
within
weren't
our
you using your
minds,
brights to begin
in a
with?
place most people don't even know exists within themselves. The devil is gonna call to those depths, dear believer. And though you may tremble before the beast, you should make it easier on yourself and accept what it is that he bestows upon you.
Nope. I don't like that. I didn't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, very Appalachia. It's very... If you hear a whistling, don't turn around. Isn't that what the thing is? If you hear whistling, no you didn't. Yeah. Also, like, stories on the res, like Native American, like, their folk tales and, like, scary things out on reservations and stuff. Ooh. Okay, this is tape 3, orientation protocols. Oh boy. There's
Greetings and welcome to.
Okay, so like I don't believe in like ghosts per se, but I do believe there are just some things in this world that you just don't mess with. You know, like I'm out. I mean, you hear a person crying for help out in the woods at night. You know, you're driving along a highway, you know, and you see a person come out from. I mean, just keep driving and call someone. Be like, hey, police.
The preconditional protocols and orientation video system provided by Unit 13 as part of the United States Army and Project
No, you
Stargate,
didn't.
created in partnership with Symbiodyne USA. On behalf of all of us here at Unit 13,
didn't see
congratulations
anything.
on your selection as one of our testing candidates. You like
There's this one creator. Sorry to pause again. I keep pausing. There's a creator on TikTok. It kind of deals with like, like Native American humor and like stories and he's always like when your it says like when your res uncle reacts to your weird looking dog, and it's like it goes into like he goes into like skinwalker scares or oh, ad break. Scary. And my favorite one is where he's watching the it's like this deer, and it's the oh yeah. All right. Let's continue. If you're in an ad, we'll hang tight for a second. If you are in an ad, we will hang tight. Nope, we do not need best viewers. I haven't. Let's see. Puka Lives. I don't think I've ever seen Puka Lives. The story involves a tulpa. Oh, tulpa. Interesting. What I was saying earlier about the guy, he sees it's that video of with the deer. It's at night and it's like jumping into the ground, and then it comes back out and its head's like all tilted sideways. It's just his reaction to it. It's really funny. But yeah, we have 10 seconds, and then we'll resume. Yeah, tulpa is anything that's like shapeshifters, skinwalkers. I can't. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back from the ad. And anything that involves like skinwalkers, shapeshifters, that's just big no thanks. First film Puka is one of my favorite. I will look this up. I am interested.
We have a
Check
lot
this
of
out.
questions, and this video is designed to answer them all. First, let's go over some background information to provide you with the crucial
One of my
context
favorite
you need for us to
scary
understand
movies is
what
The
it is
Thing,
we're doing at Unit
which is
13.
great if you have like
We are sure you've heard plenty
skinwalker,
of rumors
shapeshifter
surrounding
figures.
What it is that we do, but we are willing to bet that most everything you've heard is wrong. Being a highly confidential part of Project Stargate, which you've already
Stargate?
on, Unit
The
13
Thing is
studies
such a great movie.
revolutionary and
Also,
promising area of
Keith David
parapsychology.
and
Thought forms.
Kurt Russell
If you're unfamiliar
in their
with
prime.
what thought forms are, that's okay. You're in the majority. So, what are thought forms? Through the ages, occultists and spiritualists, Tibetan monks to theosophists, have exercised the creation of what is sometimes referred to as a tulpa, otherwise known as a
Oh,
thought
this
form.
is a
thought form
this is a tulpa video. The Greylock tapes is tulpa.
is the manifestation of a person's will, emotion, or other deeply psychologically energized state.
Greylock tapes deals with tulpas.
Physical form, existing as not only an
Oh
extension
my
of a person, but as
gosh.
its own independent and sentient entity. Thought forms are also able to be witnessed and experienced by third parties. And
We
are
willed
not
it into
limited solely to the
existence.
person who developed
Yes.
them. Thought forms have been formed to serve as familiars, companions, or even friends to those who conjure them.
No,
According
they're
to
not.
key
No,
literature,
they're not your
thought
friend.
forms can be
A tulpa is not your
intentionally formed
friend.
by a single person or multiple people, though
No.
they can be unintentionally formed as well.
Would you
But
say
they are
Slender
always
Man is a
manifested through
tulpa?
the deep will and focus of a person in a considerably heightened state
Slender
of
Man
connectivity with their own consciousness.
Gets his strength from
Traditional
people
thought
knowing
forms
who he
can vary
is.
widely in their level of influence in the real world. While they usually take physical formations eventually, their earliest stages are more apparitional in nature, with brief manifestations, though most often remaining as an unseen essence, much like a phantom or a ghost. At this phase, thought forms and ghosts are very similar in a number of ways. Individuals can make contact with them through communication devices, such as a Ouija board or through EVP sessions, while the thought form may respond through moving objects, manipulating electronics, or even speaking words and short phrases. Due to their striking similarities, a current theory established by Unit 13 suggests that one after death, it's
There you go.
possible, and indeed likely, that these paranormal entities are actually thought forms that are unintentionally created by those individuals that the deceased has
That's
left
better.
behind, who spend
It's like the
inordinate
mini
amounts of time
dance.
in deeply emotional states, where their mental capacity is largely occupied by a powerful focus on the departed individual.
So
In other words, as these
I can use my
hypothetical conditions
believies
from which thought forms are
to make
born,
a-
people may very well create their own ghosts and hauntings.
I can make my
However,
believies
as more time and energy
make
is
a
invested
tulpa
into
appear.
The development of the thought form, they begin to harness more influence on their environment until eventually exhibiting a semi-permanent physical appearance. And,
like Slender Man.
Of course, becoming as tangible as a living creature. This is where Unit 13's interest comes in. We've sought to answer a very important question. Can thought forms be created in a manner that would benefit American society? and
No,
help keep
stop.
American citizens
Stop
safe?
it, America.
Unfortunately, the practice of intentionally creating a thought form by traditional methods would undoubtedly take years and years of devout mental training. So, Project Stargate has enlisted a world-renowned authority in thought forms, a man named Dr. Bernard Hayes, to oversee a number of the operations.
Well, that's such a that is such an American government thing they would do. It's like, how can we harness this?
Results to the project. Due to
For
Unit
freedom.
13 and Semiodyne USA's combined efforts, bringing together some of the most prestigious minds in the world, specializing in the sciences of the human consciousness, with cutting-edge technology.
So what you're
and
saying
engineering
is
methods, we've created a
freedom.
groundbreaking, proprietary invention. Introducing the Thoughtform Manifester.
Of
The
course.
Thoughtform Manifester is able to create
Looks like
truly
something from the game
independent and
Soma.
self-sustaining thoughtform entities from the minds of select, willing participants.
If we believe it
Being that
long
they come
enough.
from the
Wait a
deepest
second.
recesses of
Isn't
the
this
human
just the
mind,
secret?
thoughtforms can appear in virtually any
Bald Eagle
configuration. They can look like a
America!
person, an object, an animal, or even something as abstract as the physical representation of an emotion. That being said, it's recommended
I think this
to
is
brace
just
yourself
called The
before
Secret.
touring
I
the
think there was a
thoughtform
book about this.
chambers, as thoughtforms
The
can
Secret
also
is a
take on
tulpa.
appearances that could be
Oprah
considered
Winfrey.
disturbing, like a creature one might see in a childhood nightmare. There's no reason to be afraid, however. All thought forms are docile by nature, and while they may look
Docile
or
by
behave in a
nature.
frightening manner, and
Uh-oh.
while they are
Starting to
capable
sound
of
like
making
Buffalo
physical
Bill.
contact, they pose no threat to
Oprah
humans.
is a tulpa. I'm not saying that.
Once your session in the Thoughtform
Okay.
Manifester is completed, your
I don't
Thoughtform will be
need
securely
someone showing up to my
transported
house
directly into a containment chamber.
from the
Thoughtforms
Oprah
are unable to
Institute.
pass through the
We need to
barrier
speak to you.
and will not be capable of causing you any issues. There are some very rare potential side effects that may result
Are
from
we
your
willing a
session.
tulpa into
These side
existence right
effects
now by
include
watching this
increased
video?
tiredness, loss of balance, dizziness, insomnia, vomiting, episodes of temporary amnesia, and mild hallucinations. These side effects, if present, will clear up within 72 hours of your session, and are simply signs of your brain recalibrating to the real world. It is recommended
Technically,
you refrain from
yes.
driving or operating heavy machinery
What are
for
we doing?
72 hours after your session, even if you experience no side effects. None of these side effects should cause you any harm or overt stress.
Oh, that's
and
easy for
former
you to
testing
say.
Candidates who have experienced these side effects reported that they
Increased
were very
tiredness.
mild
Oh
and
no.
merely a
Is it
transient
already happening?
inconvenience. With all that out of the way, we are looking forward to your participation with Unit 13.
Alright,
and
it's
your time
tape
in the
3.
Thoughtform Manifester has been scheduled. However, there are several required mind exercises as a part of this video system that must be completed prior to your scheduled date in order to prime your consciousness and ensure
You gotta
the
prime
highest
your
quality
consciousness.
results. Please enter the video cassette labeled TF2, Waking Your Subconscious, now. This is the end of this tape.
Alright, this is called Tape 4, Unexpected Visitors. Oh no. This is a 8-minute video. Is this where it gets Is this where it gets scary, y'all? Am I gonna be... This person's being attacked by a thought form, a tulpa. That's horrifying. Well, it wins in that I'm very unsettled. Or maybe I'm just a wuss. But big... Oh, creeping on someone. Creeping through a window. Are we the tulpa? Are we the tulpa? Come to my window. Good evening, traveler. Traveler. Not gonna lie, biggest fear is walking by any window at night, or like my front door, which has like the half circle window at the top, you know what I'm talking about? That little, you know, and just seeing like a face pressed up against it, looking inside. That's just some... Melissa... Is everyone a tulpa right now? But seeing like someone looking inside, like from the outside looking in. the Babadook looming back at you. Like, okay, I'm gonna say something that everyone else believes. The Babadook would have been better without the kid. Just saying. Yeah, that's coming from me as a dad. He was a little bit too good. He was a little bit too good at being what he was doing. I mean, I get it. To show, like, her... I totally get it. I give it a pass. But it doesn't mean I had to enjoy it. But why? Like the straight screaming in the back. So I'm like... Ugh. Maybe we just cast, you know, Jacob Tremblay or something like that. I don't know. He's every kid in every movie. I don't know. I realize I'm talking because I'm nervous about what's happening in this video. I feel like, is this someone breaking into a house and now they're just creeping around? Oop, what's that blood? Oh. Oh, they're sneaking in the home. We are the tulpa! Oh no, the horror carpeted stairs. Anything but carpeted stairs. A nightmare to vacuum, by the way. I think they're okay. I think everyone's fine. Everyone's fine. Blue Goon.
I'd like to thank my producer,
Max Headroom.
my writers, my director,
Right.
my friends, and you, the ordinary people who made me what I am today.
Max Headroom premieres after moonlighting tomorrow.
Make it love me.
Introducing a new show coming this fall. Frasier.
Request of the Massachusetts State Police. This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. All normal broadcasting has been discontinued during the emergency. This station will broadcast official information, news, and instruction for Northern Berkshire County, Massachusetts.
Pretty sure I would lose my mind if this came on. I'd be like, it's happening! It's all going down!
At 3:34 a.m., Massachusetts State Police confirmed the presence of a potential group of active and unidentified home invaders who have targeted 49 residences since approximately 11:50 a.m. last night. The attacks appear to be random, spanning across the towns of North Adams,
Nope,
Cheshire,
I would lose my mind.
Residents are urged to take the following actions immediately. Wake all occupants of your home. Lock all doors and windows. Close all curtains and blinds. Gather in a secure area of your home where multiple exits are available to prevent yourself from being cornered. Additionally, residents are urged to arm themselves with a blunt object or firearm if available citizens. Only resort to self-protection if a suspect has entered your home, poses an active threat to you or your family, and you are unable to escape safely. If you are currently away from home, we are
Y'all, what are y'all doing in
return
this
home at this time.
situation?
Shelter in place where you are. If you are currently not in a secure area or in a vehicle, immediately head to your closest 7-Mark. Each 7-Mark location is currently being used as a safe area.
Did you say Cinemark?
For your protection. Remain in your
A movie
secure area
theater?
until the threat has been resolved. Police are currently unable to determine a physical description of any of the assailants involved in these attacks.
What would you be doing? Dying, yeah.
Open your home to anyone you do not intimately recognize. Do not attempt to search for or engage with any
Kind of makes me glad I believe in the Second Amendment.
Do not leave your secure area unless necessary. This is for your safety. Law enforcement will be armed and patrolling your area. Interfering with this investigation could result in lethal force being inadvertently.
Like, home invasions that bad were an emergency groups of, oh man, that's scary to think of. Hey, Princess Monster, it's that thing that we did. It's that thing we didn't hear. Is that everybody in the town? I think it's one of those things we didn't hear. I didn't hear that. I'm just gonna close this, lock it, put the... So, I think I need to rethink this whole Sunday Scaries business. Maybe we should just make it into Sunday Happy Fun Time. Okay, tape 5. Not here, not now, not anymore. Greylock.
Hi, Wanda.
This is a 3-minute video. That jump scared me. Bad.
No.
That was awful.
He couldn't get off work today, so I'm gonna have to call him on a payphone to let him know all the details.
Are we still a live chat? Are we still doing okay?
He's excited to be a dad, huh?
Oh, yes. He certainly is.
Bye.
We both can't wait to be parents.
Aw, and you said you've been together since high school, right?
Yep.
You felt ready for that one? I was talking way too much. I'm probably ruining it for all of you. Sorry.
Ooh, Max, huh? That's a nice, strong name.
Ooh, Max.
He says it'll help make him strong right off the bat.
That's a pretty good way of thinking about it. So let's see how strong little Max is so you can hurry up and make that call.
Yes, please. He's been moving around like crazy the past couple of weeks, so I think he's really strong. Strong enough to kick so hard I almost throw up sometimes, too.
Aw, what a wild
By the way, if y'all are enjoying
Activity
your
is
time,
good.
please click follow. We'd appreciate you joining us for future streams. This is we do this every week, Sunday Scaries.
Okay.
There
Aw, man.
he is. He's
Are they gonna make
definitely
this
growing
scary?
up, that's for sure. And you're both looking really good.
I don't like.
Love hearing that.
Let's get some measurements to see exactly how much he's grown.
No, they're gonna make this scary. Okay.
What was that?
I don't know. I've never seen that before. Maybe something to do with the power.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, this one I know. What? Huh?
This is a bit strange.
Where'd your baby go?
What's strange?
Nothing to worry about or anything. Just having some trouble finding the baby all of a sudden.
Maybe the machine messed up?
Possibly. But
I would excuse myself and go get the doctor.
Picking up the baby for some reason.
Has this ever happened before?
Where'd the baby go?
Well, sometimes babies can move into certain positions that are hard to see.
But you can't see my baby at all?
I'm looking. Don't worry. He's definitely here.
Jumps out of the screen.
You know what? Why don't we just see if we can borrow another machine, okay? There has to be something wrong with this one. I'll be right back.
Obviously, there's something wrong with this one. Having gone through.
What are you talking about?
No.
Don't leave her alone with her thoughts. I didn't like that. Tape 6, Sleeping Dogs. Y'all, this is super like... Have y'all, Princess Monster, anybody else in chat, have y'all seen this series before? Or is this all new to you? Am I the only person who hasn't seen it? No, not at all. How are we feeling so far about it as an analog horror? Is it... I'm definitely creeped out, but I'm also like not sure where this is gonna go or end up. I'm definitely like uneasy, I guess you could say. Yikes. All right, let's keep going. Tape 6, Sleeping Dogs. That's analog for you. I'm a rookie to this genre. Symposium on Jungian Psychology.
And there, on his apex of infinite knowledge and power, you will approach and look him in the eye as an equal.
That was not cool. That was not cool.
User. Frank Porter. Please enter your credentials. Credential requirement bypassed by system administrator.
Incidentally, yes. 100% analog. Okay, so it's doing its job well.
Welcome to Semiodyne USA's virtual message assistant for user. Project Director, Frank Porter. Establishing custom telephone message settings. Sender,
Sorry.
of the Morelli Construction and Mining Company. Dates of receipt ranging from March 24th, 1987 to March 30th, 1987. Beginning playback of your messages. Message 1. March 24th, 11:14 a.m.
Hey Frank, it's Paul Morelli. We ran into somewhat of an issue today. We came across these tunnels inside the mountain, pretty deep in, but well, this is gonna sound a little crazy, but he told me to call if anything strange came up, and I figured this qualifies. People have been here before. Some obviously man-made shit in there.
Hold on. I think I just had brain rot. I look over and I see your post about who was phone. And my brain went, it died a bit. Hold on. This is like... Did you see my brain die a little bit? Hold on. I gotta try and... So you're with your honey, you're making out, doing the phone ring. Rigness. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna read this literally. So, with honey, and you're making out when the phone rings, you answer it in the Viosi is, what are you doing with my daughter? You tell your girl and she say, my dad is dead. Then who was phone? So dumb. It's so dumb.
Carvings and stone. This shit looks ancient.
Then who was
like
phone?
I took a crew in to look through it, but seems part of the tunnels caved in some time ago.
Hold on, we have to hold on. We gotta pause. Just for that, we have to watch one of my favorite. Okay, that reading that made me think of this.
Am I pregnant? Am I pregnant? Am I pargant? Am I gregnant? Am I pegnate? Help? Is there a possibility that I'm pregnant? Am I pregnant or am I okay? Could I be pregonate? How do I know if I'm prengan? Can I be pregnant? Can oo get
Pregante.
Can oo bleed while oo are
Pergert.
Can oo down a 20-foot
Greg.
water slide pegnat? How can I get my GF pregnant? What happened when get purginat? How can a 9-year-old get pregnant? Will my get pragnan? What is the best time to sex to become pregnant? Does anyone know how many teens get pregnant a year?
Pregnant.
Systems of being pregnant. Girlfriend ain't had periods since she got pregat. Is it possible having sex to a 8 months pregnant? If a woman has starch marks on her... Wait. If a woman has starch masks on her body, does that mean she has been pregnant before? Period, question mark. My circle is normal, but yet I still don't get pregnant. What can I use? Period, question mark. Has anybody got pregnant by just pre-cum while using birth control? Did most you women feel pregnant before find out? I am pregnant last 5 weeks, so can I start sex? Danger ops.
Danger ops.
Will it hurt baby top of his head? Me and my boyfriend are tying to get prefnat. And haven't took my
prefnat, that's my
control
favorite.
in 12 days? 38 plus 2 weeks.
Pregnant?
Pregnant? I think my dog is pregnant. Can I get bringed if
Pregnancy.
he had a condom on? How long can Ugo being pregnant to get an abortion?
Pregnant.
I think I'm pregnant with my 14th child.
Pregnant.
Can you burn a Luigi board?
Oh my gosh. So that's what that made me think of. Just FYI.
We're gonna just have the bus through it regardless.
Now, back to analog horror.
Anyways, I'll keep you in the loop. Thanks.
Message 2. March 25th, 7:38 a.m.
Hey Frank, it's Paul. Just calling to tell you the day might be a bit slower than usual. Unfortunately, a number of the crew are sick as
Oh,
dogs.
y'all.
Not,
This is
not
hilarious.
Really sure what kind of stomach bugs going around or what, but we'll do our best to pick up slack.
A Lisa Frank inspired Luigi board. See, that's
That being said,
that goes back to like what I talked about. Sometimes there's things in the world that we just don't mess with.
I don't know how the hell this happened, but the section of the tunnel where I caved in is clear. Tunnel's been wired up with a few lights too. Wanted to see if maybe you sent someone in while we were off shift. Night crew said you didn't, but I didn't see anybody else either, so. But a few of the guys said they'd seen something running around in the woods surrounding the site. I figured it's probably a deer or whatever, but seeing all the ruckus we're making out here, But they all insisted it was something else. Something like a real tall man. Might just be some environmentalist moron trying to cause some shit, but, he ain't done nothing, so...
Just the board. Okay, well that's good.
For safety's sake, we're gonna avoid the tunnel until I hear back from you. Alright, bye now.
Really tall man? You mean Slender Man?
March 25th, 4:56 p.m.
Hey Frank, it's Paul again. The guy you sent out to take photos just left, but, he seemed totally fine when he got here, but we practically had to carry him back to his car when he was done. I don't know if he caught whatever's going around, but figured you should know. Also, we found some really old shit down there, Frank. Now, I ain't no historian, but we got a guy on the crew who used to do archaeology work or whatever, and I don't know. But I guess there's some old artifacts down there, like weapons and trinkets and...
Old artifacts? No, you
I'll have
didn't.
him wrapped up a report for you and send it your
No,
way,
you
'cause
didn't.
I feel like he'd be interested, and he can explain all this shit better than I could anyways.
You found a sealed urn?
That's about it. All right.
No, you didn't.
Message 4. March 26th, 1:03 p.m.
Frank, something ain't right here.
You don't
It's
say.
getting worse, more sick.
More sick.
I feel okay so far, but I don't know how long.
Am I
that's gonna last.
Prefnat?
I saw that thing the guys have been talking about last night, stalking around in the tree line.
Slender Man?
I swear it had a face.
It had my
Anyways,
face.
Just call me back as soon as you can, Frank.
Message
Come on,
5.
Frank.
March 27th, 12:10 p.m.
All our food is rotten. totally spoiled and covered in maggots. It was perfectly fine and stored. There wasn't any
Hold on.
problems with
Hold
the
on.
generator.
Hold on. Is his face changing? Hold on. Did his face start changing? Oh, that's super sneaky. I'm pretty... Okay, hold on. We're at 512. Oh, that's so sneaky. Oh, his face is slowly changing.
There wasn't any problems with the generator, even if we lost power. I mean, it's the end of March. All our food looks like
That's
it's been
super
left
subtle.
out in the heat for weeks. No idea what's going on. Please call me
Oh,
back.
I'm really unsettled.
Message 6. March 27th, 4:02 p.m.
It's Paul. We saw it again.
Paul looks very unhappy right now.
Here with us.
There's something behind Paul.
And it's watching us, goddammit. It ain't
It's
no
a-
animal either.
No, you didn't. That's the problem, dude.
Fancy hunting cameras and see if we can catch anything. Maybe locals fucking with us.
No, no. Just ignore.
We'll figure it out. But yeah. Anyways, I just.
Here, this is what this guy needed to do from the very beginning.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop.
This is
okay?
what he needed to do.
No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
You know, the more he goes into it, he just needs to.
Hey, stop! Why? I just don't get it. I always catch you fuckers watching this sick shit. This
Sorry.
is sickening.
No, it's fine. Motion detected. That one actually jump scares me. If you do the sick one.
Message 7. Date and time unavailable. Message.
Dicks!
Nice.
Message 8. March 29th, 10:13 p.m.
Frank, it's Paul.
Paul, everything's gonna be fine,
A
Paul.
lot of the crew here is sick now, and they're sort of like unresponsive. We tried emergency contacts for them, but they just keep ringing. The phones, they just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. Nobody picked up from any number we tried. Nobody picked up. No answer machines either. We had to call the hospital, and same thing. Just ringing. Just tried 911, still nothing. I figured the phones were fucked up, but the machine actually picked up. I think I caught whatever's going around. My skin, it feels
I'm fine. I feel okay.
my eyes, my teeth feel like they're humming, vibrating.
I'm good.
This all started when we came across that tunnel. I feel like I need to figure out what's down there.
No, you don't.
I think
It's a Resident Evil journal entry, right?
But most of all, I feel like something really bad's gonna happen if I don't go down. So
That's what Satan wants you to do. It's like an anglerfish. I don't know why I did this. Bro, you good? Swear if a face pops up. Oh, yep, yeah. That was not cool. It's the Predator.
Message 9. March 30th, time unavailable.
Mothman. It's This is like that scene from Event Horizon where they watch the tape.
This is the end of your messages.
I feel like this is the scene from Event. One of my favorite sci-fi horror movies of all time, by the way. It's like one of my number one. It's so good. You talk about like cosmic horror. It's
Authorities continue to investigate the
okay. That Dawn, you're gonna have to wait a second. That okay. I feel like I'm slowly going insane, and I think that's the point. No, when you talk about like cosmic horror and like the unknown, the unknowable, oh, the adventure. Even though it's done by the guy who gave us the trashy, Resident Evil movies, Event Horizon, so because everything like there's so many practical sets, everything looks and like feels like otherworldly. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, so good. Okay, I love the poo. Okay, honestly, most there. If you just need dumb popcorn fun, you can't go wrong with them. I actually like the third one a lot too. Okay, here we go. This one's called Tape 7, Back to Normal.
crime wave that swept across northern Berkshire County. Many of its residents
I just
in a
got
state
jump
of
scared by
anxiety
the
and panic.
thumbnail.
It was 2 weeks ago when the emergency broadcast system was engaged to warn residents to secure their homes due to the activity of a group of individuals who had
Okay,
been
we're gonna do a real quick BRB, and I'm gonna go get another beverage. So let's do a real quick bio beverage break. That sounded weird. Let's put a slash in there. Anyway, BRB. See you in a second. We'll continue here in a moment. Hang.
Your son must give us the money.
I just saw a bear climbing a ladder. That was really tripping me out. It's like, what am I seeing? I gotta see this again. Chat, check this out. You wanna see a bear climb a ladder? Watch out, Gale. It's coming down.
Shut up. I love it.
Oh. Hey. It's like if the Iron Giant was on meth for like years.
And I just wanted to give you the chance to kill yourself. Before you get to there, you just jump into that masher just there. That's a death trap or a death option for you. Oh, wow, good.
Oh, I just he's like, wow, I guess you're just gonna throw yourself in there. I am no longer as horny, but I am angry. I am the real horror on the side. That's right, horror. Yes, Dad, I don't know. No horror. Oh, Dad, that better not be. Dap. What are you doing? Yes, I'm gonna accept gifts. Because I'm a slut for gifts. Oh man, what a way to end on a fatality. Hey, I leveled up. Look at that. I got some time crystals. Guys, I got some time crystals.
Oh, God, Leviosa. Stop it, Rob. Stop. Oh, God, Leviosa. Stop.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck? Have you ever gotten down with the sickness?
Lori, you need to get down with the sickness with Mr. Meat, clearly. I bet his throat's bleeding now, but, you know.
Hey, will you grab my ears while you fuck my butt?
Okay, now it's just depressing, Sam.
Welcome to hell. Stinky poo-poo. I need to go brush my teeth so I can get the ass out of my mouth. Okay, again, as I said before, I'm a master lockpicker. Shit. Really? Buddy, you couldn't figure this out? Okay. What y'all don't know is that I'm actually a master lockpicker myself. Shit. Okay, hold on.
Oh shit, it's Rat. He makes me go ow, 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 ow.
Dale, what did we talk about? You can't just be going around yelling, ow, 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 ow.
I'm sorry. I just really enjoy ow, ow.
Oh no!
What in the hell is owl, 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 owl?
Dale, you've really got some issues with the word owl.
I know, Hank. I'm not sure why.
There's a problem with his brain.
Hey, I'm not sure where I am. What's going on? Is that a cartoon man with brain damage?
Dildo McThrusticus does it again! Alright, we're back. What about the Down with the Sickness clip?
And breaking into
What about that
homes.
one? That was a good impression.
Authorities have since confirmed that the attacks were, in fact, part of an organized criminal effort and have been attributed to a local anti-American militia group operating out of Western Massachusetts.
Hey, if it's time to get some rest, then definitely get some rest. Thank you for hanging with us.
To assure the public that they are safe once again.
Take care of yourself.
Information over the past couple weeks.
Now it's Greylock.
Thankfully, due to the continued efforts of law enforcement, life has been able to
I will be
return back to
posting
normal.
this
Back
stream on YouTube. So if you miss any of it, it will be on YouTube the next day or two.
Back to normal for residents of Berkshire County.
Tape 8, Old Odd Ends. I wasn't ready for that.
The fuck happened?
We're looking into it, sir, but we experienced no issues with the broadcast on our end, so our engineers believe that the signal was hijacked before even reaching the transmitter, but once we started receiving phone calls from viewers, we switched to a backup transmitter.
But by then, the hijacker had already said everything they wanted to say, hadn't they?
Yes, sir.
What a complete fuck up. They made us look like a fucking joke. And during our most popular show. Speaking of which, Don, where the fuck is he? I cannot get hold of him, and he needs to get in here and read a statement to help clean up this fucking mess.
Well, we've been trying to reach him. We've called him multiple times. We've tried his pager. We've asked around to see if anyone's heard from him, but nothing. Right now we've got Gerald standing in for him tonight.
Gerald?
On to some show.
You've been
Gerald?
Well, no. I just thought that maybe he'd be upset if I did that.
Get in your fucking car and go to his fucking house. I don't care if you kick down his front door and drag him here by his ear. You bring him into the studio. Do you understand?
Yes, Mr. Rosenbaum. Of course, I'll do that right now.
There's some real powerful people depending on us right now. They need us to manage the response to these events, to let the public know what's going on, and the last thing we need is it going wider than it already fucking has. So do what you need
I
to
think
do.
Alan is
I will
angry.
replace you with some producers who actually know how to produce a fucking show.
Sorry, the file you are trying to access has been destroyed and can no longer be executed or retrieved. Please choose
That's a
another
shame.
file. Sorry. It said I'll take your file if you're trying to destroy or trying. Sorry. Warning, anomalous file detected. This file should not exist. Are you sure you wish to proceed? Opening
This file should not exist.
Reverse personal log. Final.
My name is Arnold Eugene Rivers. The date is April 8th, 1987. About 9:15 at night. I was involved in the Morelli construction project at Mount Greylock. I was hired due to my background in anthropology and archaeology.
Oh, those
number of different historical sites.
Oh, those excavators.
Morelli took me on after securing a government contract for the
Paul.
Greylock project. I'm recording this because I believe my life is in danger, and I likely don't have a lot of time left, so I need to leave some kind of record of my findings. On March 24th, our crew came across tunnels in the mountain that had a multitude of ancient markings and artifacts.
And you messed with them.
Paul cleared the interior of the mountain and asked me, accompanied by a small crew, to look through the tunnels and record notes on what I was able to recognize. I was then to report to one of the project directors, named Frank Porter, to offer my perspective on our findings. I kept this to myself at the time, but what we discovered in that mountain was not normal.
You think?
Did I see the impact it was having on the crew, but certain aspects of my findings did not make any sense. Many of the artifacts were pre-colonial. Some were from Native American tribes, but there were other artifacts, some Mesoamerican, and others were shockingly close in nature.
I totally know what all these things mean.
Here means that people have been coming to Mount Greylock since at least 11,000 BCE, but that's not all, no. There are artifacts I found that could potentially be from even earlier.
It's like a worship site.
Cultures that we have yet to even begin studying.
Aliens!
Then, there were artifacts and writings left by the cultures that were pre-Columbian in nature.
Now you're just making up.
Contacts prior to Columbus reaching the Americas has always been largely a theory, but the artifacts in this mountain, they prove it. Ancient Chinese, Arabic, Indian, Roman, Spanish, Viking, even ancient Greek and Egyptian are findings that they alone would change world history as we know it today. I'll admit, the anthropologist in me was thrilled.
Is this like the Tower of Babel or something?
I figured it had to be a hoax, but I'm confident that it's all authentic. But my excitement was soon replaced with a looming fear and anxiety.
Yeah, because you unearthed hidden diseases.
So important to so many cultures for so long. There must be something immense here. Whatever it was, well, that's why I left the project. The tunnels all connected to a series of chambers deep into the interior of the mountain.
Yeah, you unearthed the viruses.
The majority of the relics were found. There were old baskets of herbs and spices.
Oh, 11 herbs and spices?
And armor, talismans, other religious items, countless other things. But all of it was there.
You released Super Satan.
It was billions of years ago, when our planet was still mostly fire and rock, that a Mars-sized planet that had been drifting through our solar system collided directly with the Earth. The impact was so powerful and violent that the rogue planet was blown into countless pieces of debris. This debris collected to form our moon. Many of the pieces of the unknown planet remain inside the Earth to this day.
That's creepy. Just a little factoid for you. Of roaming planets embedded in the Earth.
Yes. break-in at my coworker's house.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Liam Hollander.
Okay, Liam, you said this was your coworker's house. What is your
The guy from earlier.
It's Parker Hill Road in Adams, number 491.
491 Parker Hill Road. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me, is anybody hurt? Liam, are you still with me?
Yes, sorry.
Is anybody hurt?
Yes.
Then I witnessed many altars constructed out of the mountain stone, along with evidence of mass animal and human sacrifice. And the carvings in the walls of these sacrificial chambers, I couldn't recognize a single familiar symbol. And it made me sick to even look at them.
No, this is creepy.
Let me be clear. I am not, nor have I ever been, a religious man. But there's something in that mountain. Something people of countless cultures over the history of our planet have been worshipping, but I don't know why.
Cthulhu.
I feel it. Whatever's down there.
They're worshiping Cthulhu.
It was like being trapped in a fever dream. I swear I could hear a voice.
Oh, it is. I bet you it is a Cthulhu.
Felt compelled to go
going
further,
mad.
to speak to whatever's down
Lots
there.
of different religions worshiping it.
I don't know. I haven't been right since I keep hearing this droning in my head. Ceaseless, all day and night. I can't sleep, just droning.
Drugs. You should use drugs to make yourself go to sleep. NyQuil.
But that doesn't matter right now. I informed Mr. Porter in my report that the archaeological findings in the mountain are of monumental historical importance, and that there is certainly more to be discovered. And I recommended discontinuing construction there. But it's not as though I have any authority over this project. I fully expected to be ignored. Mr. Porter called me on the evening of March 28th, and we spoke on the phone briefly. It was as I thought.
Alright, hold on 1 second, yo.
I just saw a bear climbing a ladder, and that was really tripping me out. It's like, what am I seeing? I gotta see this again. Chat, check this out. You wanna see this bear climb a ladder? Watch out, Gail. It's coming down.
I love it.
Oh. Hey. It's like if the Iron Giant was on meth for like years.
And I just wanted to give you a chance to kill yourself. Before you get to there, you just jump into that masher just there. That's a death trap or a death option for you. Oh, wow, good.
Oh, I just he's like, wow, I guess you're just gonna throw yourself in there. I am no longer as horny, but I am angry. I am the real horror on the side. That's right, horror. Yes, Dad, I don't know. No horror. Oh, that better not be. Dap. What are you doing? Yes, I might accept gifts, because I'm a slut for gifts. Oh man, what a way to end on a fatality. Hey, I leveled up. Look at that. I got some time crystals. Guys, I got some time crystals.
Oh, God, Leviosa. Stop it, Rob. Stop. Oh, God, Leviosa. Stop.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck? Have you ever gotten down with the sickness? Lori, you need to get down with the sickness with Mr. Meat, clearly. I bet his throat's bleeding now, but, you know. Hey, will you grab my ears while you fuck my butt? Okay, now it's just depressing, Sam.
Welcome to hell. Stinky poo-poo. Poo-pee-pee farty. I need to go brush my teeth so I can get the ass out of my mouth. Okay, again, as I said before, I'm a master lockpicker. Shit. Really? Buddy, you can figure this out? Okay. What y'all don't know is that I'm actually a master lockpicker myself. Shit. Okay, hold on.
Oh shit, it's Rat. He makes me go ow, 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 ow.
Dale, what did we talk about? You can't just be going around yelling, ow, 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 ow.
I'm sorry. I just really enjoy ow.
Oh no!
What in the hell is owl, 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 owl?
Dale, you've really got some issues with the word owl.
I know, Hank. I'm not sure why.
Has a problem with his brain.
Hey, I'm not sure where I am. What is going on? Is that a cartoon man with brain damage?
Dildo McThrusticus does it again! Alright, notes on the fridge. Elf on the shelf. Demon on the scene. I don't know. It's a hell of a day to quit sniffing glue. Yeah, what is this game? Yeah, just stick your hand in the wall and see. I mean, it seems like it's definitely a generous contribution. More, I mean, y'all are getting me to blue screen. I see what's happening.
Alright.
He disregarded my concerns. I informed him that I wasn't going to return to the site. He insisted I did, said I was a valuable asset to the project, even offered me a substantial raise, and wanted me to lead a specifically organized team that would clear the tunnels of artifacts before excavation would continue. I, quote unquote, could be responsible for the biggest historical finding of all time, he said. I refused again. I won't put a price on my sanity or my health, especially after seeing what was happening to the crew.
Now loading. Morale Greylock event, Group C, Survivor data. Profile for patient B3590. Rockford, Thomas. Malformations. Notes. Communicative. Patient prone to spontaneous violent outbursts. Treatment of heavy sedation recommended. Only communicate while patient is restrained or via intercom. Now loading. Profile for patient B9231. Washington, Samuel. Malformations.
Oh.
Notes. Communicative.
Ooh.
Patient suffers from constant state of severe paranoia and delusions, resulting in unpredictable violent outbursts.
He
Standard
also has the
treatment
mouth from
ineffective.
the predator
High-dose
creature.
xylazine is recommended. Only communicate while patient is restrained or via intercom.
Yeah, because he's
Now
gonna
loading.
bite your
Profile for patient
throat
B6670.
out.
Herrera, Ramon. Malformations. Notes. Uncommunicative. Patient appears to be in catatonic state.
He seems happy.
Warning, patient may sit up very suddenly, without provocation, to projectile vomit at any staffing area. Patient's vomit is extremely corrosive and emits nerve gas.
Oh, you're just
All
describing
treatments
different Left 4
ineffective.
Dead characters now.
Studies must be conducted with full anti-corrosive gear and air purifying respirator equipped on all staff involved. Now loading. Profile for patient. B8816. Fleming, Charles. Malformations.
Alright, hold on. I gotta help. Kiddo is sorry. I'm getting up a bunch. Apologize. Kiddo is getting up. I'll be right back. Hopefully last time.
Your son must give us the money.
I just saw a bear climbing a ladder, and that was really tripping me out. It's like, what am I seeing? I gotta see this again. Chat, check this out. You wanna see a bear climb a ladder? Watch out, Gale. It's coming down.
Set up. I love it.
Oh. Hey. It's like if the Iron Giant was on meth for like years.
And I just wanted to give you the chance to kill yourself. Before you get to there, you just jump into that masher just there. That's a death trap for a death option for you. Oh, wow, good.
Oh, I just he's like, wow, I guess you're just gonna throw yourself in there. I am no longer as horny, but I am angry. I am the real horror on the side. That's right, horror. Yes, Dad, I don't know. No horror. Oh, Dad, that better not be. Dap. Dap. What are you doing? Yes, I'm accepting gifts. Because I'm a slut for gifts. Oh man, what a way to end on a fatality. Hey, I leveled up. Look at that. I got some time crystals. Guys, I got some time crystals.
Oh, God, Leviosa. Stop it, Rob. Stop. Oh, God, Leviosa. Stop.
What the fuck? Have you ever gotten down with the sickness? Lori, you need to get down with the sickness with Mr. Meat, clearly. I bet his throat's bleeding now, but, you know. Hey, will you grab my ears while you fuck my butt? Okay, now it's just depressing, Sam.
Welcome to hell. Stinky poo-poo. Poo-pee-pee farty. I need to go brush my teeth so I can get the ass out of my mouth. Okay, again, as I said before, I'm a master lockpicker. Shit. Really? Buddy, you can figure this out? Okay. What you all don't know is that I'm actually a master lockpicker myself. Shit. Okay, hold on.
Oh shit, it's Rat. He makes me go ow, 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 ow.
Dale, what did we talk about? You can't just be going around yelling, ow, 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 ow.
Sorry, I just really enjoy ow.
Oh no!
What in the hell is owl, 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 owl?
Dale, you've really got some issues with the word owl.
I know, Hank. I'm not sure why.
Dale has a problem with his
not sure where I am. What is going on? Is that a cartoon man with brain damage?
Dildo McThrusticus does it again! Alright, notes on the fridge. Elf on the shelf, and demon on the scene. I don't know. It's a hell of a day to quit sniffing glue. Yeah, what is this game? Yeah, just stick your hand in the wall and see. I mean, it seems like it's definitely a generous contribution. More than, I mean, y'all are getting me to blue screen. I see what's happening. Oh my gosh. This. I'm stuck in a tree. That's a pretty horse. Oh, shit. Oh, no!
And we're back. Okay. We're about to get jump scared with some malformations. Y'all ready? You ready for this? That's all I got. That's all I got. You're welcome. I gotta get situated. Oh gosh.
Uncommunicative. Warning. Patient will attack inside. Do not interact. Immunity to pain. Patient exhibits
Immunity to pain?
tendencies. All treatments.
So these are all those miners that were down there going crazy.
Now loading. Profile for patient. B4041. Oakhurst, Scott. Malformations.
Oh, no, Scott, what's happened?
Communicate with caution. Warning.
Yeah,
Patient
communicate with
actively
caution,
pretends to
no
be
shit.
benevolent and friendly. Strong homicidal and cannibalistic tendencies.
With those
Killed and
teeth,
partially
I
consumed
would
6 staff
guess
members
so.
On April 6th, 87. Patient laughed hysterically during the attack. All treatments ineffective. Immediate euthanasia or permanent restraint.
Immediate
for further study
euthanasia.
recommended.
Burn it with
Loading.
fire.
Profile for patient. B7992. Kowalski, Edward.
Edward.
Malformations. Notes.
He looks just a little hungry.
Hazardous. Warning. Patient possesses inhuman power of suggestion and influence over others.
Oh.
Do not interact.
Do
All
not
treatments ineffective. Immediate euthanasia recommended. Now
Yeah, I
loading.
guess so.
Profile for patient. B1584. Rafferty, John.
John Rafferty. What a name.
Malformations.
Ooh.
Notes. Uncommunicative. Hazardous. Patient appears to be deceased. No vital signs. Patient's body not decomposing. Warning. Staff have become ill after even brief time spent in patient's room. Illness disregards
He
protective
just has a
safety.
body odor.
Immediate quarantine required for all victims. Mortality rate post-exposure currently 92%.
Oh, damn.
Survivors subject to rapid physical and mental malformations. All treatments ineffective. Immediate remote euthanasia recommended.
Remote euthanasia. Set it on
I
fire.
consider myself incredibly lucky to not be in that condition right now. Oddly, he quickly accepted my second refusal, wished me luck in my future endeavors, but before I could say anything else, he'd hung up. But it seemed I'd made the right choice. I heard something awful happened up at Mount Greylock, and then simultaneously, there are all of these things that have been happening around the mountain. The home invasions, the dead bodies that fell from the sky
Oh,
over
I bet
here,
it's all those.
the pregnancy phenomena. so many other unexplainable things. They all must.
I was gonna say the miners or the home invaders, but I guess that would make sense.
I connected with a local investigator who's been trying to get to the bottom of this. I've shared with him everything I have, though I feel that I've been being watched. I feel a looming threat that I can't really explain. Would the government really send someone to kill me over this?
Yes.
I feel
Yes,
like
they
I'm
would.
paranoid. Like I've lost some
Yes.
of my mind. But I came home from the grocery store the other day, and my front door was unlocked. And I know I had locked it before I left. I scanned my entire house for traces of anything, but found nothing out of the ordinary. I even checked and replaced all of the light bulbs. Oh, God. Saying it out loud like this, it makes me realize how crazy I sound. I've always been a rational man. There's a logical explanation behind everything.
But sometimes there's just shit be crazy.
Well, I'm glad that I put all of this into a recording. Perhaps that was what I needed to snap me out of this. Honestly, I feel much better just talking about it. This can't be. Oh my God, that's my basement door. No. Camcorder. Oh, where's the damn camcorder? Here it is. Thank God.
Must record everything.
They're here. I'm inside my bedroom closet. I'm going to keep the tape recorder running, and I'm hiding in here with my files. If something
My
happens to me
files.
and you find any tapes or files somehow,
Dude, whisper.
please bring it to the investigator, Jim Malcolm North Adams. That goes for this video footage as well.
We're coming for you. Nope, no, you didn't. You didn't hear anything. You didn't hear that.
Come on out, it's the police.
I don't. I think he's okay. I think he's okay. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine.
Accessing GBS properties. 101 WRAV FM.
Alright, this
radio
is
station. Date of broadcast December 13th, 1963.
This is
Segment,
Tape
announcing
9
the
Trojan
National Access
Technology.
Initiative. Beginning playback.
In one of his first acts after his historic succession, President Lyndon B. Johnson's administration has announced an upcoming program that will revolutionize communication and bring critical home electronics into every American household. The National Access Initiative, as it's been named, is a program designed to ensure that all citizens have equal access to vital
Chat, how are we feeling
communication
about this
tools
series so
and
far?
ways to stay informed, fostering connectivity,
Honestly,
security,
I'm
and
kind of
unity
enjoying it.
across the nation. Under this
In a creeped out
groundbreaking
way.
initiative, eligible American households will receive packages containing a myriad of electronics so that citizens may stay properly engaged with one another and remain knowledgeable regarding important events. The electronics such as telephones, televisions, and radios.
These packages will also include items aimed at keeping families safe, with devices such as smoke alarms, burglar alarms, and even flashlights. These things will empower individuals to not only stay involved in their communities, but to remain prepared for any emergency as well. President Johnson himself was quoted as saying that in this era of progress and innovation, it is crucial for every American to have the tools necessary as they navigate the challenges of modern life in an era of ever-increasing technological dependence. These electronics packages are being made available to American households through a partnership with world-renowned technology manufacturer Semiodyne USA. The technology giant's expertise in creating cutting-edge, revolutionary technologies over the past decades has made them a household name, and their gracious contribution to this initiative ensures that the devices provided will be of the highest quality.
Okay, so there are, just real quick. This is tape 9. There are 12 tapes, and it's about an additional 40 minutes. We will stop after tape 9 and finish the Greylock tapes on a different evening, just as a FYI. This is pretty great so far.
Further enhancing the experience and benefits for American citizens. When asked for a quote during a press conference earlier this week, President of Semiodyne USA, Percival C. Rothwell, had a lot to say.
The National Access Initiative represents a milestone in our nation's journey towards progress and inclusivity. It's a reflection of the American government and Semiodyne USA's unwavering commitment to empowering every American citizen, regardless of age, location, or income, with the tools and resources needed to thrive in the electronic age.
I didn't like that picture.
We cannot see them or hear them, but they are present.
32% of American households still don't have a television in the house. This means they are less informed and are unable to respond to emergencies as quickly or efficiently. A much greater percentage of households have no smoke alarms to alert them in the event of a fire. Perhaps most shocking of all, 29% of Americans don't even have a telephone in their home, meaning they're unable to call for aid or even just contact friends or family members. They are left disconnected. For decades, people of all kinds have wondered what it is we're working on at any given time inside Semiodyne. And for decades, we've kept it all quite secret. But I'll let you in on a little something.
Yeah. Kennedy didn't go for it. But you assured me he was amenable. Or was that just more of your bullshit? No. He's gonna fucking expose our whole plan for the NII program. The meeting couldn't have gone worse. If that fucking Nick thinks he's gonna expose Semiodyne, he's got another thing coming. But we're not the only ones he's pissed off lately. After rejecting Operation Northwoods, and then that executive order involving the Federal Reserve, there are a lot of snakes in the grass. And it's about time that Kennedy got bit.
At Semiodyne USA, we're building the future. And
Scary.
As the great-great-grandson of our company's founder and its current president, I'll tell you one irrefutable fact, the most important one. All roads lead to connectivity. Without connectivity, we have no future. The more isolated individuals are from one another, the weaker they are. The more easily defeated they are.
No, or maybe the more resistant to you they are.
Of their own lives.
Hey, hon, have you seen the car keys?
Humanity has stood many times at the precipice of extinction. And the only reason we are still here today is because we stood there together. Simuldyne USA is here with you every step of the way.
You're watching, listening. I won't be your lab rat anymore.
We make a promise to continue to support you into the future as well. Whether it's from a lack of infrastructure or a lack of income, no one should be restricted access to potentially life-saving and life-enhancing technology. And this is only the beginning. We have so much more planned so that Americans can all truly be equal in our society. Security, connectivity, accessibility. It is our belief that it is these three factors that make America the best country in the world.
Ooh. Is it Tulpa? Oh. Maybe it's something else. No, thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Rothwell also stated
Nah.
that these monumental benefits won't only be made available to American households, but to police and fire departments, schools, and to small businesses as well. The Johnson administration has stated that while they are going to begin launching this landmark program right away, it will first be made available only in select areas as construction crews from coast to coast prepare to establish important infrastructure that will support the National Access Initiative program.
I don't like that. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Hello? Hello? Is somebody there?
No.
Where are my glasses? Where are
Sleep paralysis demon, is that you?
Oh, there you are. Who are you?
I'm your imaginary friend.
No.
Imaginary friend? But I didn't imagine you.
You must have, because here I am. You probably just don't remember.
Gaslighting. Gaslighting.
Are you from your doctor's office place that I had to go to?
I think you might be right, Katie.
I can't find my glasses, so I can't really see you.
Oh, they're over here.
How'd you get there?
I noticed they were a little dirty, so I wanted to clean them for you.
Yeah, this is so cursed. This is so cursed. Actually, I'm gonna go back to bed and sleep, so yeah, I'm good. I'll get him in the morning. I really don't need to see you in here. Might as well just close my eyes. Yeah. Oh, a big, unhinged jaw you have.
I still can't really see because my eyes are so bad.
You reach out and I'll put them into your hand.
I hate this.
Okay.
I hate this.
Okay.
I hate this.
Just a little bit closer.
Oh. Bitten in half. Yep.
The Johnson administration went on to say that their current projections for a nationwide release are for some time between mid-1966 and early 1967.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
Citizens will be mailed informational packets regarding the National Access Initiative, including information on how to apply as the program becomes available in their area.
Hello, you've reached Alex Marsh and Tiffany Crisaldi. We're not able to get to the phone, so please leave a message after the tone and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
All right, y'all. So we just have tapes 10, 11, and 12, which is about another 50 minutes, or not 50 minutes, math is hard. But we're going to stop there. School night. Want to make sure we get to bed, get some sleep. But let's go ahead and raid. Let's get a raid going. Thank you all so much for the just hanging out with me during this Sunday Scaries. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this series with y'all. So thank you for hanging with me.